right? Hey, 23. Let me know if you can see and hear everything. Hello, and me. Hi. Video is good, so is video. Awesome. Yay. How are you guys doing today? Hey, Paulo. Hello. And yes, I was eyeing more citrus tree. I might have. Oh, what were you checking out? I don't think that's a problem. I think it's quite cool to like grow your own citrus. And it's quite fortunate that you're in a weather that allows it. Good luck growing any kind of fruit. Like, you can grow the trees here, but I doubt we can get them to fruit. And I'm eager for spring to show up, really. It's gonna get way too hot way too quickly, but we keep having more and more snow, which is just so weird. Like, it will get a bit warm for a couple of days, but then we get not even a couple of days, for one day, and then another like batch of snow, and it gets like much colder, and rinse and repeat. I think this is like the third time it's doing this month. I want to see a bit more green outside. Everything is still so like gray and gross. I say gross because like we have snow and it's a city, so the snow gets like mixed up with the sand you put on the road, the gravel, all of that, and it becomes just like brown. I want them all. Like Pokemons. Was eyeing a Sudachi tree and finger. Ooh. I'll have to look both of these up because I have no idea what they look like. Unless the tree can survive winter. I think we just don't get enough warmth and enough sun. Even if you indoor your tree, it's gonna be indoor for so long. And there's significantly less sun even if it's indoor in the summer. So you would have to use lamps or something. My mom would grow like lemon trees because they're pretty trees, but not a single one of them ever gave fruit. I'm still not over my pandan plant dying on me. Food. Citrus and temps under -10 is a big no-no. We get a lot of that in the winter. What happened to your pandan tree? And what's a pandan tree? Like what kind of fruit does it give you? Rata, hello. Hello. Let me know if you say it like rata or just rata. Or any other way if that's not right. But it's nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm waiting. I'm doing this while I'm just waiting for perhaps a few more people to come in, or to give a chance for more people to come in, so that I don't have to explain a bajillion times. But I will explain what I'm doing briefly. Oh yeah, I know why I need this. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Don't like doing these charts, so I'm trying to, make it happen quickly and efficiently. Just so that it's okay. I'm sorry, I said very very French. I hope that's not like a bother. If it is, I can try what, rata. It's a small plant that is used as vanilla, but you use the leaves. Ooh, that sounds lovely. YouTube apps are getting expensive. Yeah, they're a bit annoying. I'm sorry. Hey, Arctic Journals, hello. It's nice to see you. Oh my gosh, I love the photos you posted of your nearby woods. I'm still not over the fact that European squirrels look like that. They're so different from the ones we get here. I'm Italian and French. Oh, awesome! Yay! Yeah, it's mostly the like the R sound, right? The English one is very like chewed through. It's a bit, it's almost closer to a W sometimes than an actual R. But in French, we say the R very R-edly. Almost done. So I don't like doing mixing charts, but also they're super useful. So that's always the balancing act. I have to figure out if it's worth it or not. Just checking to make sure I'm in frame. I think it is. What? bit high. That bit more. I plan to go further into that forest tomorrow because we haven't managed to reach the end of the. Ooh! Wow! Holy moly! Hey, Curious! Hello! We're ring. Sometimes it feels like people from other countries live on another planet because when people on watercolor YouTube go, that's an unnatural color, I open a window and think, you're sure about that? People are so weird because it really depends on where you live, truly. Oh, mixing chart. A way to spend 2 hours on a back pain. Seriously. Which is why I have a hard set limit that, like, I will do it for, like, if I really want to know what kind of colors I can get for a set that is 8 colors or less. If it's over 8 colors, I have to really think about it because I just don't enjoy it. But that's the issue, right? It is useful. So it's always about trying to figure out a way to do it that is the least painful possible. And for me, it's like less colors. Less colors. If you remember, when I had the set of like the assortment of selected colors, I would do 2 colors at a time on a separate sheet. I will do it only like the half. I don't do the other half because I don't see a need for it. And yeah, that's basically all the corners I have to cut to bring myself to do this. But I really want to do it with these colors that are in this set. I have 6 colors in this set. There are colors that I put in there. And I don't have the names. Hold on. I need a reference for the names. Oh, okay, got it. Like really, on natural color, have they ever seen what nature is actually capable of in colors? But at the same time, I can see it. The thing is like sometimes the color that we will see in nature, I think would technically be the same color as like phthalo green. But when you put phthalo green on the paper, it doesn't look quite right. Like, I think our brain does a lot of trickery about this stuff. So how do I want to set these up? This one is 109. I think it is gold ochre. Is it? It is a PY43. And it is number 109. This one, 204. I feel like I'm calling bingo numbers when I do that. 204. 204. So I think they do it much faster. So these are paints that I put in different pans because I wanted to be able to use the magnetic pans for these. So I said 204, right? So 204, what color is it? Lemon yellow. Lemon yellow, PY61, huh? Interesting. And now I have a lot of yellow on my fingers. I can German R and Spanish R, but I'm not sure I can French R yet. The first thing I learned when I was learning French. Roll your R. We have a kind of a weird rolling of the R thing because it's not. It's not like a smooth roll. It's kind of a grating roll. And I've heard it a lot recently because there's a local band that's gone viral, and it's everywhere, and it's really funny to see. Well, funny. It's something to see a lot of people who don't speak French trying to say their name that is very very French, and it has a very French R in there, and it's equally funny too. For that, it's funny and painful. These are Roman schmal paints. Yes. Oh, don't worry about it. I think like we're always at least half of the people that have English as a second language in here. So there's a like we're all very fine with the speaking a second language struggle. You from Lemon Yellow. Oh. Angine de poitrine. You know it. Yeah. Did you stumble upon their stuff? Stories. This is a pretty international community, as you like to know. Hope everyone feels comfortable asking for clarity. Yeah, absolutely. Or third even. Yeah. Yep. And yes, the band is Angine de Poitrine, and they're awesome, and I really like them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're from here. Ah! Pretty sure we'll start with Lemon Yellow. Okay, so that would be color number 1. Now, I don't know where I'll put this one. I know that this one is Nicolazo Yellow. 308. So what is color 308? Where is it? Oh, yeah. So it is Nicolazo Yellow. What's really funny about the band I mentioned, Angine de Poitrine, is that I was at the hardware store the other day and I was, walking through the aisle, doing my own stuff. Like, I don't like to be bothered when I need to sort of map out a store in my head of where the stuff is at. But yeah, and I was in an aisle, and the aisle over, there were 2 workers, and they were talking about Angine de Poitrine, and I thought that was really cool. Of course I know it. To me, it's not painful. I just think, oh, look, can't say enye. I speak Italian, French, Spanish, and English, and all badly. Oh, I'm sure it's not that bad, but I mean, that's like 3 languages more than so many people out there. They're key XP. That was being pushed to me like there's no tomorrow. YouTube knows what I like. Well, I'm glad that you liked it then. Also, Anthony Fantano reviewed them. Everyone has reviewed them with varying levels of thoroughness, if I can say that. I saw that Rick Beato also talked about them because he was fed up with getting emails about them, but I saw that Justin Hawkins, I think that's his name, also talked about them. And his video was one of my favorite. It might just be me, but it looks like the text on the paper is ever so slightly... Oh, it is! You're absolutely right. Let me see if I can adjust that. I don't know why I have so... Like, what the fudgery-doo? So that's my issue with this setup, okay? So I have a specific software that controls the camera, okay? And I set it so it's it's a fixed focus that I set with the focus on my table when I set it up. It's not an autofocus. It shouldn't change, but it still does, and I don't know why it does that, and it drives me bonkers. Because I don't get it. Like, it's not supposed to switch around like that. Like, I set the focus first, and it should stay on the scene, on the table, but it will like focus in and out at times, and I don't know why. It's just stupid. It is very stupid. So that's 416. That's one of the magentas. Might not be in this. I think that's magenta intense, but I'll just leave it as that for now. Unless someone can check for me, but yeah, I don't think it's on my chart what the color number 416 is. I was so happy they got the recognition. Me too, honestly. But I bet that each of those languages helps you figure. Yeah, I don't like. I was really like him talking about angine de poitrine was very underwhelming because he didn't really say anything basically. That reminds me, mixed today mineral pink and Venetian. Oh, Venetian yellow earth. Oh, that sounds pretty. Hey, watercolor is high. Are we evaluating yellows? 416 is quinacridone magenta intense. Thank you so much. Yes. Alright, so which side do I write? Okay, quin. And I think, I'm not sure it has a pigment info, that one. I have an older chart, so I don't know. But I can at least label it. So 416. Sorry, my handwriting today is like terrible. It's a bad writing day. Yep, AP says not available. Did you know that if you label your pens with a Sharpie and at some point you need to update the info on them, you can sort of erase most of it with rubbing alcohol. So you can clean up like the mistake and write the right info instead. Maybe I could, since I only have 6 colors in there, I could give them like a bit of space. And that would also allow me to see the pigment. Right, so this one is going to be here, and this one's going to be here. And this one is one of the ultramarines. It is the French ultramarine, 221. This one, I don't think anyone needs to look up the pigment, but sometimes it's a bit of a trickery because it can be a mix. Some companies will name like something like whatever ultramarine and it's going to be a mix of pigments. But in this case, it is just PB29. That's 221. The other one, that was gold ochre, PY43. Again, and the last color, I don't think it's in my chart anyway, because it's a newer color. It's Aquarius Violet. I have bad writing days too. What the heck is that about? I think it's the same kind of vibe as the bad drawing days. Oh shit, I have no info for this one. I went to Krakow in Poland in October and bought a lot of Romans colors. Oh, that sounds like such a beautiful experience. As long as you don't feel bad about using the paints. Because if you're afraid to use the paints because of the memory, that's sad. But if you are good to go and you feel free to use the paints because they're fun, that's such a, like, every time you use them, that would be such a nice memory. I would give my 2 front teeth to be able to get RS without having to wait for quite a while for international shipping. It's not a new color. It was a in the. I'll get my chart, mind you. That's gonna be easy. This here. I should have thought about that first. Sorry. Oh, there's a 2026 random gray. Oh. But I guess the paintings one makes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, to have beautiful paints attached to a beautiful memory and to be afraid of using them, that's just so sad. Okay, so Quinn Magenta Intense was part of the latest release, just before the December, like the colors we got before December. Okay, I'll have more detailed info as well. So when I get my hands on a new release, I usually make the swatching sheet of the whole release, so that way I can sort of reference them together, but that also gives me very valuable info about when colors were released. So these, I have 2024, 2025 here. I'm not sure that's very helpful though. Oh well. Is Aquarius Violet on this one, or is it on the previous one? I think it's a previous one. Yeah, it's here. Cool. So that's my last color that I have to label. Where are you? Ah, there you are. It was released on its own, I think, according to my very makeshift info here. So that's 369. Such a satisfying number. And it is PB29, CV19 and the PR255. There we go, all set. Except I need to write it on the pan too. Hey, Phils, hi! I use them and you're right. Every time I use them, that's lovely. I like that. It makes me happy by proxy, I guess. Fell off the low by wagon hard and I think I broke my hip. Oh no. Definitely don't need. Yeah, that's the. I remember the video you made of the new. It's always so exciting to do. I'm always so hyped for a new release. Mind you, I would be for a new release of almost any brand because it's just it's the fun of painting is so closely linked to the act of painting that basically any paint that is enjoyable to use is gonna be like super exciting if they release new colors. The only thing that is usually stopping me is budget. I'm quite fortunate in that like sometimes I get sent the paints, which is unbelievably generous and nice. But then again, it's not all paint makers that do that, so. So first step is going to be to paint that. And also, I'm gonna, oh, that's the thing I hate for these, is you need extra mixing space. Like, where is my extra mixing palette? I'm in a process of, like, reshuffling everything. So there's a few things that are less in the shuffle, but I know where I get one. I'll be right back. This cheap one. I wish it was easier to share dot cards with friends. Yeah, I agree. Kind of hard with sticky paints. Yeah. I need them list of Roman watercolors. Just got from 21 to 23. My abstinence-fed buying spree has mostly included historical natural pigments. Like what? Okay, I'm probably not quite in frame. Am I more in frame like this? I'll try to whoop, tape this a little bit like this. That sounds lovely, Arctic Journal. Wow, like you can hardly get any more local than that, right? Okay, so I said lemon yellow first. So this is Constant Excel paper, so you're kind of better off if you pre-wet the area a little bit. Otherwise, it can make for really streaky patches of paint. Okay, second one is I really like their Nicolazzo yellow, this one here. It's a very like nice and transparent color. One of the very few transparent yellows out there. The mix of these two is going to be... And I forgot to pre-wet it because that's what I was doing. I bought a few things before I very buy. I need a newer car. Ooh, ouch. I agree that very cool. Seriously, just wish Core would release more. But then again, isn't it kind of difficult to grab for you? So I think it would be frustrating to have many new colors and to be unable to get them. Though they did release new colors not too long ago. Again, the issue is mostly budgetary, budget related. I'm trying to do a better usage of my 2 containers of water. Since I've started trying out, like, if I've started using distilled water for my painting because the water we get here is incredibly hard. It is very, very hard water. So I was wondering if using distilled water would, you know, make a difference. But distilled water, you have to buy it. So I tried to be more aware of like how I use my distilled water to make the best of it. And that includes having a better management of like what water I use for rinsing the brush, and then keeping a jar of clean water so that I have that too. Indigo from different sources: Rhode, West African, East Asian, cochineal, true gamboge. Ooh, true gamboge, nice. Oh my gosh, curious. I would love to get my hands on gamboge. I recently was sorting out my pamphlet, like all my paint info pamphlets, and I shared some of the scans on the Discord, but I found a pamphlet from Winsor Newton from '96, and they were still talking about genuine gamboge in there. So they've stopped making it not too long ago, and I thought that was super interesting. I didn't know that. Also some digital ones that are super fugitive. Le Wood Pur. Ah, nice. And oh, purple. I'm not sure why purple got changed to Pur Sparkle Heart, but here we are. Oh yeah, online shopping. This is not friendly to anyone's wallet, truly. And I agree, it is a really nice, like reddish orange, the mix of the lemon yellow and the quinacridone intense. It's strikingly interesting as a color. kind of very salmony color, the first one. And this one is more orange because like the lemon yellow is a bit of a cooler yellow. And the nickel azo yellow is less cool, so it shows up as more orange in the mix. I hope that makes sense. I don't feel like it did, but my list of my home country brands I want to get is Mahalo. I mean, that's kind of cool though, isn't it? It means that locally you have a lot of paint makers. Also got a real sepia. One made from cuttlefish. Why was that censored? Oh my gosh. It has a bit of a glare right now because of the light, so sorry about that. I don't know if this is, oops, hiding it. No, I'm not. I mean, I don't know how I can get it to not have a huge glare on it, but... Hey, Lyra, hi! Your opinions, please. What is the best transparent-ish cooler yellow? Oh, very difficult question because I don't think there's a... I think the only transparent yellow that is somewhat light fast is Nicolazo yellow. So for a like a cooler yellow that is not that one, but also that is not too opaque, that's difficult. Oh, scout fur in the mix. It is, and I'm so proud of our Ukrainian small businesses. Some of them are recognized abroad. That's so cool. Even Rosa, it's I don't know. I'm not even sure that silver lining is right, but like through all the recent hardships, the fact that like a brand like Rosa is now so much more available and has been sort of able to thrive is impressive. The resiliency. Exactly. I was hoping there was a good one that I didn't know about. Oh, P white 129. That's true. You could use green gold, azomethan green, whatever. But it's a it's a peculiar color. Like if you told me that it's not the vibe you're looking for, I would totally get it. You know. So I think PY129 is maybe... No, I think it is fully transparent. It's just that it's a bit muted. That's a beautiful green. Clearer than PY120. I love the pigment, but it's not what I'm seeking. I really basically want lemon yellow but transparent. It doesn't exist. Sorry. You can probably find like varying levels of transparency for it, but they're all gonna be somewhat a little bit opaque. Or not fully transparent. Well, Rosa is in a small business. But you know what? Would you say that it was like until its recent like development? But yeah, they're keeping up with new things, like not only new releases, but finally sets of professional gouache or acrylic. I made this floral palette. I'm pretty proud of it. Put PY129 in it, and it has been a surprisingly fun mixer for more. Seriously, the super interesting thing that Lana sort of like experimented with and shared with us was that if you mix an orange, maybe not all orange, but basically her mix of orange and green gold, PY129, made for a sort of yellow ochre color, which was super unexpected. Nickel Azo is a fantastic color for mixing, from what I can see. Oh, it is absolutely brilliant in mixing. One of my favorite greens is to mix that with like a really deep blue, like indigo. You get something that is so deep and so rich and so like vibrant green. It is such a glowy color, that yellow, that it's really hard to beat. '23 seal of approval in the green. Oh, yeah, and I think, there was a painter. I don't think she's all that active anymore, but Tarianne. She had I don't remember what her channel was named, but I think she would use the Daniel Smith's fake green gold. Like they have two gold. They have like green gold and deep green gold or some sort of stuff like that. And the one that is named green gold, it is not the single pigment like color we all know as green gold. It's a mix. and then the deep green gold is the single pigment one. But she would basically take the other one that is a bit more vibrant, and she would mix it with the PY 209, like that reddish magenta pink kind of color, and it made for such beautiful skin tones. I honestly don't know. My first Rosa palette is like 6, 7 years old, but I don't remember when they got into international market. I know that for me here, from my personal access to art supplies, uh, I didn't even know they existed until a few years ago. And then I started seeing them like in various shop, and now even the local art supply chain has Rosa Gallery paints. Now I know that this particular gold ochre is incredible. It is such a nice, like it's not like completely muted. It still has a lot of glow, and I love it so much. It's such a nice color. Do I recall that it goes surprisingly well with PV19 PR? It's possible. I don't remember. I accidentally got traces of PV23 in it, and the result was, as always with purple and yellow mixes, something with unexpected depth and super transparent too. Yeah. PY129 and PR29. Yeah, that's it, right? That's the mix. What was interesting with the other green is that since it's a little bit more vibrant, like it added a lot to the mix. But yeah, another interesting green mix got today. Roman Queen Gold, and oh, that's gotta be lovely. I discovered Rosa Gallery 2 years ago. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, don't now, but the manual focus, autofocus. Back to clear. I hate it. It's so stupid. It's not supposed to do that. Why are you such? Let's try something else. What about this? Did I focus? I think that's in focus. Let's try this one. I'll try this one, and we'll see if it like shuffles on its own. Hey, Lisbeth. Hi. I have one from Rosa. Now I'm thinking of mixing it. Basically, mix everything with mineral pink. It's one of those colors that, when I did the thematic palettes not too long ago, and the leftover palette was the one with the mineral pink in it, I think. And we mixed so many super interesting colors with it, like that. I don't think anyone expected, truly. Oh my gosh, the French ultramarine is starting to granulate into colors, and it's looking awesome. Is that gold ochre opaque? We can check. If I could find, I'm just gonna. Oh wait, there it is. Sorry, I'll just use. Does anybody have Rosa's PV23? It is lovely. It's a good one. Auntie Patience, hello. It just makes quinoa go. Gold with Carpus Violet, and it made it really. No way, it was gross. It's gotta be beautiful. All the colors are beautiful, but quinoa gold is amazing. I love it. Oh, so what that would be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I think it is. It is somewhat opaque. Yeah. I'll do the other ones too eventually, but I'll just finish my mixes for now. Yeah, okay. This is what I'm doing. Then I can grab this here. Do swatch here. I really don't like that black watercolor paper. It's the one from Van Gogh, and it has the most annoying texture. I think I put the ultramarine blue in the wrong spot. Oh, who cares? Check out this greenish gray. That's surprising. Such an interesting sort of neutral color from these. I got a few of Rosa's new colors. Hey, Roots and Ruin, hello! Nightfall Orange is a bit of a disappointment, but that night. Oh, why are you disappointed by the orange one? I think it's beautiful. I have two PV23, one from Rosa and a second purple, and the other one is Van Gogh, a bit milder. You want the most egregious PV23 possible. That, like, if you paint it with Mastone, it looks black. And then when you dilute it, that's when it looks purple. Painting and watching and chatting, it doesn't always go well. It's always a bit of a some mixes are just surprising. Like you have a bit of an idea of what you're gonna get, but sometimes it's even a bit beyond those expectations. I'm gonna try to clean up the color just a little bit. Okay, Aquarius Violet, that's my last color on there. I'm off to buy some clothes and have dinner. Have a good rest of your day, Paolo. And thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy more angine de poitrine. Hold on, okay, so what's in not yet. Okay. I'm a fan of the Nightfall Orange, but I do agree that the Nightfall Azure is gorgeous. I honestly wasn't expecting much from it. They're all really, really nice, to be honest. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, I should be back. Am I back? I'm a fan of the whole new release, but I'm biased because Ukrainian. What is that track with my... Is this... You know what, I'm not entirely sure it is Aquarius Violet anymore. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I'll have to look it up, but I mean, I'm still gonna use it. I'm still gonna mix with it, but I'm not entirely sure that's the right color in there anymore. Oops. I think I was just expecting the granulation in Nightfall Orange to be more evidently blue. I'll probably just use it for mixing muted green. You could also I don't remember what's the pigment that does the blue in it, if it's ultramarine or cobalt, but you could add more of it in the mix and see if that gives you the granulation you wanted. What color will you mix it with to get muted greens? Oh, hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry again. I'm for real making quinoa now. Like, expect a different color with the Aquarius Violet. So, I mean, I'm not sure it's Aquarius Violet. So keep that in mind. It doesn't look like it, to be honest. What other color does it remind me of? Like, for me, it looks a bit more like lava or even October. I don't know if you guys were able to see my swatches, but the Aquarius Violet that I have here, I don't know if you can see, but it's a lot more violet. So I'll have to look it up to see what did I grab and put in there. Oh shoot, I I smudged everything. Ah, big mess. Express. I'll find the color someday on something. Oh, I found it actually. Ew. Ah, shoot. Of course, it had to make a print on the lightest swatch on the sheet, you know. Good thing that vellum you can sort of easily wash. Easily, I say, as it leaves a big ass stain on there, but still, I can sort of wash it off somewhat. Okay, let's redo that. It is true that it's not a huge investment. Our crazy neighbors migrating to the corridor. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll redo this mix, I think. This and whatever this one is. Out of mixing space on this one. Oh, I had pre-wetted them. Hey Vesta, hi! I am mixing Roman small paints. Don't think I'm gonna put a post-it on that one because I don't know what it is. Boop! So, yeah. Yeah, air raid siren because... Ooh. 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 Oh yeah, that's true. I did do a full video of all of the Rosa. Dang it! All of the Rosa gallery colors from the regular range before the latest releases. I did do that. And there's even timestamps. Oh, I'm excited to see this color mixed with the magenta. Really. Ooh, I think that's going to be super cool. That's pretty. I bought Rosa gallery paints based on that video. Well, I'm glad it was helpful. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. That's so cool. Okay, when it comes to Rosa, I would recommend all of their granulating colors, because I am a fangirly when it comes to granulation. Now sat mixing Nightfall Orange with everything. Mix with PB36. Ooh! Ooh, yeah, that's like cerulean blue, right? Did you try mixing it with cobalt teal blue, if you have it? It's always interesting to mix any kind of color with that granulating, like aqua teal, because you never know what you're gonna get, but it's always gonna be interesting. Okay, the mix of the whatever that color is with the French ultramarine is separating in such a beautiful way. Okay, what's the looker? It's gonna be really interesting too, like to have that mixed with that. I wonder what I'm gonna get. Such an interesting kind of brown color. I feel like that's something that happens a lot with colors is, let's say you mix two colors together, it's as if, like when you're mixing on the palette, in your brain, the colors are still the two separate colors. You kind of have to swatch it on paper to see what the new color is detached from its components, if that makes sense. This one, I don't know what I did there, but this one is turning out to be super interesting. It's very like mottled and patchy, but in a cool way. Okay. So, in terms of transparency, the more opaque colors appear to be the ultramarine blue and the gold ochre. And it's hard to say for this color, the darker one, because it's dark. So dark on dark paper, I cannot tell if this is like the transparency of it or just the fact that it's a dark color on dark paper. But the two yellows, the lemon yellow and the Nicolezo yellow, and then the magenta, they're all at least semi-transparent to transparent, I think. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if my assessment of transparency makes sense at all, but that's kind of how I see these. I don't understand why ultramarine blue is often labeled a transparent color, because in my experience, it's never fully transparent. And that's not an issue. I really think it is. I'll have to. The thing is I have to check out what pan did I grab a piece from, and that's how I'm gonna know for sure. But I can't do that like right now. But it does look like October or even lava. I'm mixing cobalt turquoise with everything. See? This might be less exciting. It is extra exciting. What are you saying? Ultramarine Spectral has insane granulation. It is amazing. Okay, I'm back. I'm having quinoa turned into, I'm baking fish, baby bok choy, zucchini, and asparagus. Sounds delicious, though. My dedicated to your suggestion notebook will be the size of the Oxford Dictionary soon. Yep, cerulean blue. I'll dig out my cobalt teal. It's not a secret. It's just that I'm not sure I got the right color down. So that's why I hid the name of it, because I'm not sure. I don't want to. I don't want to like incite like give the wrong color mix. So I don't know what happens there, but nope. All those purples are fire. Can something granulate and be transparent? Nope. Nope. It can't. Oftentimes, if a transparent color has a texture as it dries, it's a different process in the paint. It's flocculation instead of granulation. It might look similar, but it doesn't happen for the same reason, if that makes sense. The granulation, is when you have like your wet area of paper and paint, and the heavier pigment deposit like at the bottom first. And like on cold pressed paper, there's a texture, so it will aggregate the pigments in some spots. Flocculation is a different activity, and Paulo is not there, but Paulo would know a bit better about that. But it's more when the particle, like the pigments, will group together. They don't sink at the bottom like granulation, like heavier pigments do, but they kind of glump together and they create little clusters that make the texture that you'll see. So it is a texture, and there's definitely something that's happening there, but it's not exactly the same as granulation, and it doesn't look exactly the same as granulation. I mixed not Rosa, PB29 and PY1. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, yeah. I'll see if I can find my pen that's missing a trunk. I'll have to look into it a bit more, but it is beautiful, so I'm not really mad at it. I'm just confused. Oh, I get it. Wait, what? Nightfall orange plus rosa cobalt turquoise makes a very interesting gray. Violet tinge with areas of warm. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna have to try that. Okay, so I have still a bit of space on my sheet. Like this area, my plan was to sort of do mixes from these, but not necessarily as, you know, grid-like as this. Like, what happens if I take this particular mix, but I had more of one color than the other? You know, like, just to explore the mixes a bit more, but not because that's the problem with these like mixing charts is you can try to get a bit of variation in the mix you get from the two colors, but basically it shows you one mix that's available from the colors, but there's definitely more than one mix that can be made from these. So I'm gonna try to redo that one because it is very intriguing, but I'm gonna do it a bit differently. What is my deal that one of the mixes I'm most fascinated by here is that gray green. It is curious, right? I think that after this one is one of my favorite mixes on here because it's so muted. Like I would expect some sort of muted color from these two, but maybe not to this extent. So that's like intriguing. I think I'm gonna do a Yep, these mixing charts have a narrow range of what colors you can actually achieve with mixing. Yeah, that's why you guys remember, right? When I did I had the little cards and I would put the two colors and then I would make multiple mixes. Like, that's a whole lot more informative in terms of all the declinations you can have from mixing two colors. Such a drastic difference in the mixes there, just by changing one yellow. Got so curious about the mix of cobalt turquoise with nightfall orange and I pulled out my pens. Ooh. Man, I hope you will share these swatches on the Discord. Let's do this one too. Otto! Amy, you said just learn to not consume or get on your skin, and I had a moment like a vision of someone using like cadmium orange like sunscreen, and I was like, that's definitely manageable to avoid doing that, you know. Okay, this mix is really, really cool. I'm not on the Discord, but I can post mine to my Instagram stories if anyone wants to see. What's your Instagram handle? Being here in Australia. Oh man. I want spring to come up eventually. Separation and that mixed with which mix? Which mix? The one you're making or it's really fun. Like I'm just experimenting by mixing 3 colors now. Since I have like 3 yellows and that's it. So that's kind of like yellow, the blue, and the magenta together just to see what happens. The one roots. Ooh, okay, let me check. I follow 100. Ooh, with Viridian. Oh, bye, Auntie Patience. Thank you so much for stopping by. Right, I think that's Like, there's really interesting stuff going on there. I just mixed ultramarine spectral with rose quartz deep. Ooh. Sorry, it's autumn, just very confused with weather now. It is a bit trippy, right? Like, I find it a bit easier to visualize that, like, when it's hot here, it's cold there, and when it's cold there, it's hot here, but the transition seasons feel really weird. Like, your Christmas is in summer. Eh? The humidity these past few days and the trees are blooming. Oh no. All right, so that's what's your favorite mix on there, guys? I'm curious. Like, especially in this area because that's a bit easier to pinpoint. The other mixes are a bit like all over the place, but it's difficult to choose between the mix that's my favorite and the one that I find the most interesting, because I think this one is the one that I find the most interesting, but I think my favorite is the green here. Yeah, we have Santa on the surfboard. That's a bit different, isn't it? I would love that. I know this is a bit of a cliche, but I think like the Australian continent is like it looks like such a beautiful place if it wasn't for all the critters out there. I mean, they're great, but I'm really loving that magenta intense. It is interesting, isn't it? That purple. I feel like the gradient here is particularly interesting, right? Like, that's beautiful. Two in the middle in the last row. So these two. Also very interesting. Also the lemon yellow. Yeah, this cooler green. It's funny to see that even with all of the colors in there, it's a limited palette, so yeah, of course, but we end up with just two greens. I don't know if I would count this one as a green, like it's so muted. I am recently obsessed with pinks and red palettes. Spiders are good. Only large predators. Yeah, but you have stuff like huge bugs. Like even if they're not deadly, they're just startling. I'll say that. Or what was it? There's also like the magpies that like to attack people. Like it's just what's happening. The cooler green gets neater the closer you look. I'll I'll switch the focus for a second. Okay, so I've put it on autofocus and I'll try to quote unquote zoom in some colors by bringing them closer to the camera, and hopefully they will pick up the nuances. They will pick up the nuance of the colors. Can you kind of get? It doesn't do it justice. It's such a weird color. Let's see about this one here. Can I get this? Hold on. Like that's really cool, isn't it? And then the greens. Here. All you guys in America have to deal with bears and cougars. The bin chicken is my favorite. Literal god in Egypt, bin chicken in Australia. Really great. It is super interesting. Magpie. I love magpies, but it's just like the. I would never have expected to see a video of a magpie chasing someone and pecking them on their bike helmet. Like that was weird. Oxide green just doesn't get enough press. Well, I agree. It gets poo-pooed all the time, and it's just the really beautiful granulating green color. Cougars are scary because of the sneak attacks. I'm more afraid of wall hogs. Yeah, but the thing is most cougars, they're not really interested in humans generally. Hogs can really do some damage, and they're quick and heavy and yeah, scary. Moose are terrifying. They're so freaking huge. Is it one of those words that there's no plural? Do you say mooses? Or do you just say moose? And I know there's a joke that's like you call them meese when there's more than one, but but yeah, oh my god, people are like, oh, it's a moose, it's not a threat, and it's like no, it's like a freight train. It is a threat. My physio's friend was the one being chased by the magpie, the birds that you watch out for at the mask. Lap wings. I've never heard of that one. Moose like fish. I thought you said fishes. I know sheep doesn't have a plural, but like why? Why? English, why? What are you doing? There's one color that I'm like, this one is surprisingly underwhelming, and it's this one here. I hadn't realized how huge they were until not long ago. Seriously, they're terrifying. Magpie is basically my family emblem. I don't know why my family does. Because they're awesome. If I saw an angry moose, I'd just immediately accept I was about to die. Seriously. Dude. People, like, you see tourists approach moose like, oh, dear, and it's like, no. They're so high. They have such, like, long legs and so much weight on top of these legs, and they can go so fast. They're terrifying. Never mind the grizzly bears, it's the moose that's the problem. Very aggressive birds when you come close to their nesting spot, and stupid since they like nesting in big open areas where you. Oh no! Oh no! What is that mix? Cold ochre plus. It's the quinacridone magenta. No, the magenta intense. Yeah, quinacridone magenta intense. Yeah. Yeah. There was one that attacked me at Bunnings. What the heck? I don't want to whining in Discord about my stomach. The moment where I sat down to eat, there's zucchini, half a bunch. Ah, that sounds delicious. Just a lot to eat at once, right? But it sounds good. Moose are massive. I don't understand how some people can come close to them. I have no idea. I'd be terrified. Like even if my expectation of the animal, I don't think I would have ever expect them to be as big as they actually are. And I think if I saw one in the wild, it would be so huge that I'd be terrified as well. Speaking of underestimated animals, polar bears. Are they really underestimated? They're terrifying. Though at the moment they're more sad than terrifying, truly. But like they're both actually. I'm grateful that I live somewhere bears don't exist because I would totally go near them and treat them like they were puppies. I would do that with tigers, so I get it. Or any kind of big cats, to be honest. And I know I would get shredded, but oh, did you guys see that that tourist that she went skiing and not alpine skiing, the cross country skiing, is that what it's called? And she spotted a snow leopard. And she was like, "Oh, awesome! I'm gonna take a selfie with the snow leopard." And then the leopard literally ate her face. She survived, but yeah, it's like, dude, that's a wild like predator out there. That's an animal. That's not a. I know they're cute and they look really silly online in the videos from the zoos and all that, but if not friend, why is it friendship? I know. Like 1.5. It doesn't feel like it, right? But yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's just that polar bears right now are a bit in a sad situation with their um habitat being like destroyed. I've been a bear and I live in a huge city as well. It's similar here because it is a city. I think the biggest we can see is a coyote sometimes. I don't know which one is bigger, the the wild turkeys or the coyotes. The wild turkey is surprisingly large. And polar bears also hybridizing with grizzly. Oh, that's possible. I wouldn't know that. I'm not that savvy on bear stuff. We see a lot of the most common bear around here is the black bear. And as far as bears go here in North America, they're the sort of mildest ones. You often see them get chased away by an angry cat or a dog. So like they're not that much of a threat. They act a little bit as if they were a bigger, clumsier raccoon. In the sense that a lot of people have issues with them where they will go dig in their trash. Not in a city like here, but in the areas that are a bit closer to quote unquote nature. Where I live, we have scary desserts, but pretty sure I saw a black widow strolling. Oh, good gosh. Dude, I spotted wild turkeys from the highway the other day and they were massive. They are surprisingly a big bird, seriously. I saw them on the like this like sometimes we get them here in the city. Like they will walk on the sidewalks and in the parks and all of that. And they're really big. Partner and I went to Mexico and there was a guy who was carrying a tiger cub and oh, that's not. I don't like that they do that because it's not good for the animal. But it's like I can understand the appeal of wanting to hold a tiger cub. The lynx in one of our zoos is refusing to go on a diet. He's so chubby. I want to hug him and die happy. Aww. That's the issue, right? That's why I say I would get shredded by a tiger because I couldn't resist trying to get close to the cub, going, I have kibble, I have kibble, chomp, just like it was a good death. What I kind of like as an alternative to the I'm not, in a way I'm not happy that it has to exist because it still is a result of there being an issue. But all the rescues that take in the bigger cats, whether it's tigers, lions, cougars, lynx, panthers, all of that, like that some individuals got for whatever reason, and they at some point can't take care for anymore. So sometimes the like the big cat rescue and all of that. So I would be all for like visiting one of those rescues. And sure, you can't hang out with the wild cats. That's fair, but you get to see them from pretty close, and uh, like that's really cool. And some of them like they don't look very fierce. I understand that they're not a wild animal at that point. They're somewhere between domesticated and wild. But yeah, that I'm more like okay with because at least they're trying to like right things. And it's not like you can take these big cats and release them in the wild. They're not going to do well. Currently have many wolves and wild boars happily roaming the streets of the city. They have become more courageous. Whoa. That's peculiar. I wonder if the wolves are gonna like get domesticated and just turn into dogs. Because of some previous work I did, they're not as soft as my thing. I mean, they don't look soft, but that's kind of what's intriguing about it. It's like a huge cat. Have you seen the size of the paws and the paw pads? And it's just like the whiskers. Everything is upscaled. 6,000 of years for domestication. No, not with. I know that there's a lot of studies that have been done, like with foxes and perhaps with wolves, in the sense that they don't visually evolve in front of your eyes. That's silly, but they will really mellow out and sort of become much more tame really quickly. But it's a specific thing that happens with like some canids. Risk of noodle incoming. Foxes have been domesticated. Yeah, you can see it there's quite a good few examples of people who rescue foxes and they like they become like dogs really quickly. This conversation is making me so glad that all I have to worry about in the UK are seagull snatching ships. We have those here too, mind you. I mean, over here there's a lot of funky things going, but like specifically here, there's really nothing that's particularly threatening. I think the most threatening, quote unquote, stuff we end up having is stuff like mosquitoes because of their ability to carry diseases. And like, sure, we might have rats, but the likelihood of getting bit by a wild rat or something is quite low, whereas you will get bitten by like a bajillion mosquitoes in the summer, whether you like it or not. I'm still holding a grudge over a seagull that snatched my freshly made Liège waffle out of my hand like a decade ago. Yes. Okay. I'll share a quick story, and then I will end it. Um, Speaking of seagulls, like when I was a kid, um, you know where this is going, right? But yeah, when I was a kid, I remember riding my kiddie bike, um, and I was just like riding my bike, doo, and a a seagull pooped and it landed on my arm as I was riding my bike, and I panicked and I rode my bike into a tree, and yeah, that's it. So I get it. I think the doorbell's gonna ring. Hold on. Right. Sorry about that. Um, Seagulls are rats with wings. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mosquitoes. Do you get those? Oh no, I wasn't hurt. It's just it was just a very confusing moment in my life. But yeah, I was not going fast, which is why I was mostly okay. But the panic induced moment stayed with me. You stay kind of wary of like pigeons and seagulls after that. You know, when they decide to take flight and to fly overhead, you always kind of sneak a glance up right at them. You don't want to turn your whole face up because if they happen to poop, you're gonna get a face full of it. So that's not no bueno. But um, you kind of like try to stay like protected and to gauge if it's gonna happen. I must have been like 8 or 9 or something like that. I think seagulls have a daily quota of chaos they have to cause. Seriously. But yeah, there's my seagull story. I went to the beach a lot as a kid, and we didn't get the seagulls to steal much of anything from us. But uh, I was at a cat cafe once with a friend, and a cat stole my friend's whole donut from the table and ran away with it. Dude, seagulls and ducks just poop everywhere. Have you seen geese? If you want to see a bird that will make a mess, geese is your bird. A bajillion percent your bird. They're disgusting with that. They leave like a minefield of geese poop all over like the bike lanes and the sidewalks. They just walk around, eat, and poop as they go. Like that's all they do. What color was your bike? Oh, my bike was the most egregious 90s for girls bike you could possibly think of. The tires were pink. The whole frame, if I remember correctly, was a sort of gradient from pink to white to a little bit of blue. I don't remember what color was the seat, but it had one of those things on the handle, like that had a cover that was velcroed together. It was like nylon with the print on it, and then you would put that over a piece of foam that was like inserted over the bar, and then you would put the other thing on top. And you can be sure that in that stuff, when you would like remove it to let it dry or something, there would always be like 27 earwigs in there. And I think there was a similar like foam and nylon velcro thingy on the main bar between the two wheels. And it was one of those bikes that you have to you brake by pedaling backwards. And I had put those neon thingy on the spokes so that when you start rolling, they do like the clack, 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 and then when you accelerate, they like the centrifugal force keeps them at the end of the spokes. Did it have streamers on the handlebar? I think it did. They were not sparkly streamers; they were just pink, I think. Canadian geese, my guess. Yeah, of course. I looked from over geese chasing me. Oh no! I'd love to go to our local lake to sketch, but the smell of duck poop. Oh, is it very like ammonia based? I just knew it was right to ask that question. Pink tires make this even funnier. A squirrel eating a pork pie. I mean, the only way it could have been more hardcore would have been if it had been eating a Scotch egg. The foam thing to keep you. Oh, is that what it was for? I never figured that out. I thought it was just like for decorating the bike because you don't see those at all anymore. They're on no bikes whatsoever. Classic 90s kid. Oh yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, please like the stream. I know it was a bit of a really chill one, and I've been yapping for like 15 minutes doing not much, but you get to see the beautiful mixes that we did, and yeah. Oh, haggis. It's not very easy to carry around though, haggis, unless they make haggis pies. Ugh. And just before the end of the stream to use the live instead of top chat. No, it just made that up. Seems legit though. Yeah, though it wouldn't help you if it was a big enough hit. But yeah, maybe there's something to the extent that it was there to help not hurt yourself, but haggis. We summoned Otto with the haggis. Otto, you would know. Do they make haggis pies? Like, compared to haggis, our poutine is quite tame. But yeah, I don't think we have anything quite as hardcore as haggis. Like, we have a lot of stews, but they're mostly like meatballs stew or just some anything that has been stewed for so long, like you can't even tell what it is anymore. Not sure about haggis pie. I wonder, right? Oh, we have one concoction that I think is a crime against humanity, and it's shepherd's pie. Like, I don't think there's a really good translation for it, but over here we call it the pâté chinois, which translates literally to oh, dude, what would you translate pâté to? It's not Chinese pie because it's not a pie, but it's this. It's gnarly. I can rant about that for a really long time, way longer than is justified to. James says it's not common, but you can get haggis pies. Oh, interesting. I mean, I feel like everything is heightened by being in a delicious pie dough shell, but it really depends on the pie dough itself, I guess. Meat pies are a staple here in Australia, most especially during the foodie. But I'm not a fan. Too much meat. They don't even offer like vegetarian or vegan options, like with lentils in them or veggies or cheese and veggies or something. It's shepherd's pie, but it's like the French name for it is so stupid. Hey, Moby Dick, hello. I don't like surprise meat. You must not be a fan of hot dogs then. Never have deep fried haggis? It'll put you in a food coma. Oh my gosh. I don't think I would be tempted. It's just not. I'm I'm a very vanilla food food choice person. I think I have only had a family friendly version of shepherd's pie that uses ground beef only, as opposed to what? Oh my god! Don't get James started on shepherd's pie. Not technically being a pie. But that's the thing. I've seen so many people refer to shepherd's pie as something that actually has like crust, and pâté chinois definitely does not have any crust. Not that it would save it, but okay, sorry, but where did the food the goal? It just it landed on my arm. So as I was biking like this, I saw the poop come splat on my arm, and I panicked. That was good because who doesn't like ground meat in sauce under a layer of mashed potatoes? Yeah, I mean the meat and the potatoes on their own they're fine, but pâté chinois is has corn in it too. Should have seen James' reaction when you said that. Here we go, the pirate has to go. Like the savory. What? There are so many different pies. It's impossible to know what everyone is talking about right now. Missed almost all. So, okay, guys, in chat, what is in a shepherd's pie? I'll allow corn and carrots and onions, but spare me the peas. I mean, if I was there, you would hear me rant about the stupid pâté chinois. So almost 10:30 p.m. in here. Oh no! Maybe you could have a cup of herbal tea, perhaps. He's Googling something. Yeah, okay, let me know, chat, what, in your experience of a shepherd's pie, what's in it? He just turned his headphone off so I can listen to this stream. Oh no! I'll be right back. I need to wash my hands. It's the door thing. I wanted clean hands so that I could handle my sketchbook and possibly doodle visual stuff related to the crime of pâté chinois. It's a bit too light. I need the heavier clip. Where is the heavier clip? Okay. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to demonstrate the nastiness of freaking pâté chinois. The crust is mashed potatoes. Crust? You mean the top, right? My understanding of it is ground beef with stew with carrots, onions, and peas, and sometimes corns, baked under a layer of mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, onions, ground beef, carrots, maybe some other stuff. I don't know. It has mashed potatoes on top. Onions, carrots, meat, and peas topped with mash. Actual shepherd. I'm going to the bathroom. Please, Evan James, do not fall out with each other. Why? Why would we? Mostly sadness and disappointment, but I think that key to anything comes in English kitchen. Ah! To be honest, I'd probably eat my shoes if it was baked under a crust of mashed potatoes. Okay, so you guys have no inkling of the actual crime that a stupid pâté chinois is. I freaking hate it. Took me some time to realize why, but it's because like the one my parents would make is probably the worst abomination I've ever heard about. Not a pie, it's just topped with mash and cheese and baked. Just a base of pie crust. So it has a layer of pie at the bottom. Like it has pie dough at the bottom in your experience of it. Okay, so this nightmare here, okay, is you take a dish, any kind of, whether it's a big like Pyrex kind of bowl dish or a lasagna one, you know, like this. Not a pie dish, not a round thing, like not a cute little, oh, I'm a little pie dish, I'm fancy. No, not that. You take a big freaking glass baking dish of some sort, okay? Has to be glass. And then you do the following. The bottom layer usually is just like ground beef. Let's assume this is ground beef. You can season your ground beef with seasoning and perhaps little bits of onions, but it is just ground beef. Then you had corn, a big freaking layer of corn. Okay, this is corn. And then you had the mash, which is just mashed potatoes. Mashed taters. Let's go. So that's it. And then you have that in your freaking whatever dish you want to put this abomination in. So the meat, the corn, and the potatoes, and you bake it again. So it's twice baked. James is having a breakdown over the Art and Wonder Studios. Oh, which one was it? I literally heard him shout no from the other side of the apartment. Shepherd's pie. The main difference is that the corn is mixed with the meat. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, this is pâté chinois. There's no, like, you can add whatever you want in it, but technically this is like the most bare bones pâté chinois you can find. And it's disgusting. It's like, I can do the mash, I can do the beef. Why is the corn here? And if you want to give me these, why is it not like, let's say you have ground beef, so you make a patty with it? That would be a bit more fun to eat. The potatoes, you could just boil them and give them to me boiled. I don't need them to be mashed. And the corn you can keep on the cob. Like, I'm fine. That's good. See, this is a meal. Why do you mush everything and cook it again? Why? Yeah, steak, blé and patate. That's it. We'll add some cheese bread. Raisins! Are you kidding? No, there's no liquid in it. Not supposed to anyway, but that, hold on, that's gonna be chapter 2. That I can't be in this conversation and has left the room. I would say pâté and think it has, yeah, that's the thing. But over here, a pâté is also just like a pile of stuff, basically. Or just a big, okay, so that like I said is like the most bare bones, like the most simple version of pâté chinois. Steak, corn, potatoes. Okay, fair. Now my parents, when they would do it, okay, the steak layer pretty much the same, no problem there. Instead of the corn kernel, they would use creamed corn, which is a crime, which is something that should not exist, and something that I hope disappears at some point, because it is absolutely disgusting. It is unedible. It is gross. It is bitter. It is just, okay, ugh, texture nightmare. And then they would make their own mashed potatoes, which I hated, because they would add like butter and milk in it to make it very like limp. So basically it had to be served with a big ass spoon, and try to guess what it would look like in a plate. And then to make it somewhat palatable, I would add ketchup to it. So it was a big pink mess in my plate. Try to figure out what that looks like. So yeah, basically this is a freaking crime. Raisins are yum as long as they're not in anything. Pretty much. I cried out loud when you said cream corn. I've never heard mashed potatoes described as limp. Ketchup might be a no, but it was the only thing that could save it. So that tells you a lot. I mean, the whole joy of the shepherd's pie is the crispy mashed potato. I mean, I wouldn't know. I remember one time I went to at the time, a boyfriend's place, and like I was invited to eat dinner there, and I was like, okay, sure. I was like, what's for dinner? And the boyfriend said, oh, it's pâté chinois. And I think my face kind of froze, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I'll make an effort. And dinner comes around, and the mom very kindly gives me my plate, and the whole thing, like the portion of pâté chinois, was like a perfect like cube. Like you had the potatoes, you had the corn, and you had the beef, and it stayed put. It was not a runny mess in my plate. And I looked at it for like a really long time, and I was like, what is this? They were like, well, that's pâté chinois. And I'm like, oh, so it can not be the worst thing ever. And it was like probably the best one I've ever eaten. I don't like pâté chinois enough to do it myself. I think it's a stupid idea to cook all this stuff once and then cook it again, but together. Like, that's stupid. But like, his mom had seasoned the ground beef layer with, I think, taco seasoning or something. It was just corn kernels, not disgusting creamed corn. And the potatoes were like stiff, like they held up. They were actual potatoes. Your parents miss their calling us torturers. What makes it chinois? Not a freaking clue. And hi, by the way. Like, chinois is basically Chinese and French. There's so little stuff that is Chinese in pâté chinois that I don't know how we ended up here. I'm now being lectured on why ketchup is essential. I can forgive raisins, but I draw the line at cream corn. Really? What if instead of potatoes we did regular crust and took out all the ingredients? Well, then you would have a cherry pie. And have a side of mashed potatoes. Because they were just for... My mom mixed cream with the corn. No, it's not cream with the corn. It's creamed corn. It is a thing on its own. It is like you can buy it canned next to the corn kernels. You have the creamed eared corn. And it's disgusting. It's basically like, you know, when you have the what's the thingy, the ear of corn? Well, you know how you chop off all the kernels of it. Well, the creamed corn, I think, if I remember correctly, because I looked into it once, it is made from scraping what's left on the ear of corn and then maybe like heating it up with the ear in it. So it's like this gloopy, starchy mess that's a bit sweet but also a bit bitter, and that hardly has any actual like corn pieces in it. It's literally like wartime Dust Bowl Depression era, like we have to eat something kind of food. But it's a lot of Chinese stuff. Let's hope this. Okay, Otto has the best description of creamed corn. It's corn that has been vomited up. It is. I'm sorry to say, but it is, basically. I've had pierogies. Oh, pierogies are amazing. Sounds even more disgusting. Creamed corn in a can. Well, I mean, you can only get it in a can. You cannot get it in any other format, but in a can. It is seriously pre-digested corn. It is an abomination. And for the life of me, I never fathomed why my parents would make it this way. At some point, I think there came a point where I just told them that, or maybe they saw my face when I was eating the whole mess. But at some point, I think I managed to get them to keep like a side of everything before it gets like put together, and the potatoes before they get mashed, because at some point they picked up that I didn't like their mashed potatoes. They were gross. And so I would ask them, since you boiled the potatoes first, can you just take a few of them and put them aside for me in a plate, and I'll microwave it later when it's time to eat and it's going to be warm. Like, that's no extra work for you guys, really. Like, the potatoes are already boiled before you add all the gross stuff in it. Can you just put some boiled potatoes on the side for me? And they would do that, which is so much appreciated. And yeah, and then eventually when my parents split and my mom had her boyfriend, his recipe for mashed potatoes was even more egregious because I think he would put mayonnaise in it. And like at that point I was fully like, you're never gonna get me to eat mashed potatoes ever again. Ugh. How mama birds feed their babies. Yeah, basically. And omelette with ketchup. Mm. Ketchup, I mean, it's not. It's a bit difficult to see it as pasta sauce when you're used to actual pasta sauce, but at the same time, I can also understand why people would be fine with eating it with pasta. Going to ask mom to make them, but then remembered. Oh, I mean, start a new list. Stuff to make if there's a special occasion or if we are done with our diet, and you put them on there. Making fresh pasta is a pain in the butt. Is it a thin layer on top of the. What? I think I'm picky about my ketchup usage. Oh, you wanna hear about? I can share two other crimes against food that used to be commonplace in in the house as I grew up. I still had food. Okay, I'm mostly complaining as a joke, just to make that clear. But it's stuff that as I grew up and became an adult and had to like buy my own food and make my own food, you kind of realize that there's some stuff you're never gonna make again because you didn't like it. But picture a sandwich that is American sliced bread, untoasted, and it's whole wheat bread. That ketchup and ham, and you close the sandwich. I don't know about you, but for me, ketchup has to be eaten with something that's either very greasy or warm or both. Cold ketchup and a sandwich of soggy bread with ham. No, that's not going to happen anymore. And then the other thing that is a particular crime was the way my mom would bake bacon. And she would do that especially for my younger brother because for some weird reason that's how he liked to eat bacon. But she would basically make it in the microwave and stop when it was technically only half cooked. So it was this gooey, chewy mess. It was unedible, honestly. Like, bacon is good because it gets crispy a little bit, right? Well, if you take the crispiness out of bacon, all you have is chewy fat. And that's what we would call bacon. In me, a lot of pasta sauces also have sugar in them, depending on the acidity of your tomatoes. Any butters, salt, and pepper, and sliced bread. I'm Italian, for the love of God, please don't put ketchup on pasta. pommes frites with ketchup. I mean, pommes frites like potatoes are actual apples. And air bread. It's just not good. Like American sliced bread is. It's particularly bad, but if you don't even toast it, there's no excuse, really. I just can't do it. Yeah, basically that was the nightmare that is Patricia, autofocusing. Okay, I hope I won't give you guys nightmare with this stuff. That's kind of why I always thought that shepherd's pie was an improvement on this, because this is not good. Like, my mom would make chicken pot pie and it was fine, so I don't know why the pâté chinois became such a nightmare. I mean, you can't get that crust, that like soft crust sliced bread in Europe. I don't know if you get it in Australia, but usually, like in contrast to the fact that it's not available in Europe, a lot of people call it American bread. Pot pie is classic, yeah. And my mom's was good in my opinion. It had like she would cook the chicken before. Like first step was cooking a whole chicken, then it was like picking it apart and then having the like making a broth, making a bechamel from the broth, and then putting the chicken. And she would use macédoine. I don't know what it is in French, but in English, but it's basically you have like little beans in there, and peas and carrots and corn. So she would put that in there, and then the whole like mixture of chicken sauce and veggies would be put into a crust and baked. I feel like that's pretty standard, right? That's fine. That's not an issue. Why is this is the thing? Why the creamed corn? Like they on purpose willingly bought creamed corn to put in there. Corn kernels in a can are delicious. Why are we going from... Anyway, I don't know. I mean, they would also buy canned asparagus, which are gnarly. And canned peas, which are also disgusting. They're mush. That term is an insult to me. Some boys to die. Anyway, I think that's gonna be like I know we went on a bit of an extra ramble about food that's also a crime. But yeah, hopefully this won't give you too many nightmares or won't. I mean, this shouldn't make you hungry, but perhaps everything else in contrast will make you hungry. And if so, I'm sorry. Canned veggies are very rarely good. I think corn is perhaps the only one that's sort of okay. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night, a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here today. This was really fun. And see you all on the Discord. I have to check all the links and all the stuff you guys posted on there. And yep, have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.